Hello viewers, welcome to Big Man Business YouTube channel. Here is another informative episode of our regular series on countries' top imports and exports commodities. In this video, we're going to be talking about Saudi Arabia's top imports and exports. Keep watching, we got you fully covered. Situated on the Arabian Peninsula within Western Asia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia shipped an estimated $176.5 billion worth of goods around the globe in 2020. That dollar amount reflects a minus 1.3% decrease since 2016 and a minus 29.9% drop from 2019 to 2020. The top three product categories for Saudi Arabian exports, which are mineral fuels including oil, plastics including both materials and items made from plastic, and organic chemicals, represent about 90% of all Saudi shipments by value. The latest data prorated from 2020 shows that almost two-thirds or 64.8% of products exported from Saudi Arabia were bought by importers in China, accounting for 17.6% of Saudi's global total, the United Arab Emirates with 11.1%, India with 6.8%, Singapore with 6.2%, Turkey with 3.9%, Egypt with 3.5%, Kuwait with 3.1%, Belgium with 2.9%, Jordan with 2.6%, Malaysia with 2.6%, the United States with 2.5%, and Yemen with 2%. From a continental perspective, 73.2% worth of products exported from Saudi Arabia were bought by importers in Asia. In second place were customers in Africa at 10.6%, ahead of Europe at 9.7%. Smaller percentages of 2.8% arrived in North America, Oceania got 2.1% led by Australia, and Latin America got 1.8% excluding Mexico. Given Saudi Arabia's population of 34.8 million people, its total $176.5 billion in 2020 exports translates to roughly $5,100 for every resident in the Middle Eastern country. If you're new to the Big Man Business YouTube channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell to receive updates on new business expert videos. For more international business news and updates, please visit www.bigmanbusiness.com. Saudi Arabia's top 10 exports. The following export product groups represent the highest dollar value in Saudi global shipments during 2020. Also shown is the percentage share each export category represents in terms of overall exports from Saudi Arabia. Mineral fuels including oil with $132 billion account for 74.8% of total exports. Plastic articles with $16.3 billion account for 9.2%. Organic chemicals with $9.7 billion account for 5.5%. Inorganic chemicals with $2.3 billion account for 1.3%. Aluminum with $2.10 billion account for 1.2%. Gems, precious metals with $2 billion account for 1.1%. Fertilizers with $1.2 billion account for 0.7%. Dairy, eggs, honey with $1.1 billion account for 0.6%. Electrical machinery, equipment with $656.48 million account for 0.4%. Articles of iron or steel with $656.4 million account for 0.4%. Saudi Arabia's top 10 exports accounted for 95.2% of the overall value of its global shipments. Propelled by higher international sales of gold, gems and precious metals, was the fastest grower among the top 10 product categories thanks to a 185.6% year-over-year gain. The only other product category to realize higher export sales were fertilizers, which was up by 10.2%. The leading decliner among the top 10 Saudi Arabian export categories was mineral fuels including oil via a minus 26.2% decrease. In macroeconomic terms, Saudi Arabia's total exported goods in 2020 represent 10.3% of its overall gross domestic product, with $1.706 trillion valued in purchasing power, parity US dollars. That 10.3% for exports to overall GDP in PPP for 2020 compares to 13.3% for 2019. Those metrics suggest a relatively decreasing reliance on products sold on international markets for Saudi's total economic performance, albeit based on a short time frame. Another key indicator of a country's economic performance is its unemployment rate. Saudi Arabia's unemployment rate was 7.4% in January 2021, up from 6.1% 1 year earlier, according to Trading Economics. Saudi Arabia's capital city is Riyadh. Saudi Arabia's top 10 major export companies. 5 of Saudi Arabia's largest companies are financial institutions that support international trade transactions. The sole Middle Eastern country with coasts on both the Red Sea and Persian Gulf, Saudi Arabia is also home to a pair of diversified chemicals producers. To give some global trade perspective on recent Saudi company performance, the overall value of Saudi exported goods fell by -13.9% from $341.9 billion in 2014 to $294.5 billion during 2018. Year over year, Saudi Arabia's exports appreciated by 33.8% from 2017 to 2018. In the analysis below, we compare Saudi Arabia's major exports-oriented companies based on asset values, sales, and profitability as of December 2018. Also presented is the Saudi city where each business has its headquarters. Below are Saudi Arabia's biggest exports-related companies organized by asset value. Shown within parentheses is the primary industry in which each company operates. Also shown is the change in asset value as of December 2018 compared to 2017. National Commercial Bank with $116.7 billion, down by -0.8% from 2017. Al Rajhi Bank with $93.1 billion, up by 2.8%. Saudi Basic Industries with $90.5 billion, up with 7.2%. Samba Financial Group with $61 billion, down by -1.1%. Riyadh Bank with $57.7 billion, down by -0.5%. Saudi British Bank with $48.7 billion, down by -1.8%. Saudi Telecom with $30.7 billion, up by 13.4%. Saudi Arabian Mining with $25.3 billion, down by -2.2%. Petro Rabigh with $16.4 billion, up by 5.9%. Almarai with $8.5 billion, up by 9.8%. 5 of these large Saudi businesses expanded their asset values from 2017 to December 2018, led by Saudi Telecoms with 13.4% gain. Asset deteriorations ranged from a -0.5% dip for Riyadh Bank up to a -2.2% reduction for Saudi Arabian Mining. Saudi Arabia's top 10 imports. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia imported an estimated $131.3 billion worth of goods from around the globe in 2020, up by 1.2% since 2016 but down by -9% from 2019 to 2020. In 2020, the biggest 5 product categories represented 39.9% of total Saudi imports by value. Those categories are machinery including computers, vehicles, electrical machinery and equipment, pharmaceuticals, and iron or steel. From a continental perspective, 53.2% of Saudi Arabia's total imports by value were purchased from Asian countries. European trade partners supplied 26.3% of products imported into Saudi Arabia, while 12.8% worth of goods originated from North America. A smaller percentage of 3.8% came from Africa. Latin America brought in 3.1% excluding Mexico but including the Caribbean, then Oceania with 0.9% led by Australia and New Zealand. Given Saudi Arabia's population of 34.8 million people, its total $131.3 billion in 2020 imports translates to roughly $3,800 in yearly product demand from every person in the Middle Eastern nation. The following product groups represent the highest dollar value in Saudi Arabia's import purchases during 2020. Also shown is the percentage share each product category represents in terms of overall imports into Saudi Arabia. Machinery including computers with $15.4 billion accounts for 11.8% of total imports. Vehicles with $14.1 billion account for 10.7%. Electrical machinery, equipment with $12.7 billion account for 9.7%. Pharmaceuticals with $5.6 billion with 4.3%. Iron, steel with $4.5 billion account for 3.4%. Mineral fuels including oil with $4.4 billion account for 3.3%. Optical, technical, medical apparatus with $3.7 billion account for 2.8%. Articles of iron or steel with $3.4 billion account for 2.6%. Plastics, plastic articles with $3.3 billion account for 2.5%. Cereals with $2.9 billion account for 2.2%. Saudi Arabia's top 10 imports accounted for 53.3% of the overall value of its product purchases from other countries. Mineral fuels including oil posted the fastest growing increase in value among the top 10 import categories, up by 121% from 2019 to 2020. In second place for higher purchases was the iron or steel materials category thanks to its 7.7% gain. Trailing that was pharmaceuticals up by 5.8%. Electrical machinery and equipment incurred the severest drop among the top 10 Saudi imports, falling at -11.5% year-over-year. Thanks for watching this video. We are open to suggestions. Kindly drop your comments in the comment box and don't forget to subscribe to the Big Man Business YouTube channel. See you in the next video.